Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ruby Storm and I'm back with another video for today. I'm so sorry that I have been inconsistent with the uploads. I made it my day that I was going to upload every single Thursdays, but recently life has been lifing. We recently just moved back to Atlanta, so things have been crazy. My boyfriend and I both starting a new job, so it's just really us getting back into routine. And so now that I feel like I'm back into my routine, I feel like I'm just able to do the sit down video because it is a long time coming. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup and get ready because I need to run to Trader Joe's. So I thought I would take the time out to tell you guys why I won't be going back to Savannah anytime soon. Disclaimer, like, this is no hate to anybody that lives in Savannah, anybody that loves Savannah, Georgia. Like, this is no hate. This is just my personal experience as a black woman, a city girl at that, living in Savannah, Georgia. So I just want to go ahead, get that out the way. If you love Savannah, this probably is not a video for you. Yeah, so now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and do this makeup look. I'm thinking for today's makeup, I want to be super dramatic, but not like too dramatic because I'm only going to the grocery store, but like dramatic enough to the point where I'm in the grocery aisles and everybody's like, who's that girl? Her makeup is slanging. That's what I want when I go to the grocery store. So yeah, I've been testing out a bunch of new techniques recently as well too, so I kind of want to put that to the test. So yeah, let's get into the deets. It just took me forever to find my makeup brushes. That's how long it's been since I've done a makeup slay. I mean, I slay every day, but I've just been doing like the minimal no makeup looks. If I wear makeup at that, like, I have not been wearing makeup these days. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna start off by doing my brows. I couldn't even find my brow powder. Like, it's been, I think, since my birthday since I last did like a whole makeup look. So I'm really excited to do this. So yeah, makeup has always been like a positive in my life. Like, I just love that makeup, you can really do whatever you want with it and be whoever you want. Like, you can name each makeup look and be a different person, or giving a different person. I'm not a different person, I'm giving you a different person, a different character, if you will. Anyways, so where do I begin? I want to start off with the positives, because not every experience that I had my whole time in Savannah wasn't necessarily negative. So I don't want this to come off as like a bash Savannah video or anything like that. No, it's nothing like that. Savannah is absolutely gorgeous. The weather is absolutely amazing. Like, honestly, the weather, it was so nice year round. Like, we got there last year this time. So last year in July we got there and it was super hot. It was so nice. We were so excited to get there. It was so interesting about us going at that time period because my friend, one of my friends actually lived out there, so it was like so convenient. If you guys hear that sound, like, I don't even know what to do about that sound. It's going on outside. Like, somebody is literally chopping a tree down or something. Like, I hope this doesn't happen the whole video. Anyways, essentially what made Savannah like amazing and make it worthwhile, my really good friend Caitlin lives out there. And so I had reached out to her when I moved out there, and I was like, hey girl, I'm moving to Savannah, like we definitely should hang out, chill. And she really made Savannah like worth it for me. And just shouts out to Caitlin. Shouts out to her. She is so amazing. She was just like that bright light that I needed out there. And I just love her so much. I have so much love for her. So yeah, she ended up being out there. And then like by like what are the odds that like my really good friend Ashley was out there as well too. And she had like just moved out there a few months prior. So yeah, I ended up linking up with my girl Ashley, so like that made everything really good to have like a little piece of home, you know, here in Savannah. So it was really nice having her in Savannah as well too. So yeah, they definitely made it worth it. Savannah is such a beautiful place. Like I think like one of the first things I did end up doing when we got here was we went out to dinner. Elisha and I went out to dinner with one of his co-workers, and she was so cool. I was like, oh my god, I really like this girl. She's like a photographer or whatever, and she also works in film and costumes with my boyfriend. So yeah, we all went to dinner, and we went to this place called, oh my god, what's the name of it? This place was so good. They have amazing hot dogs. They had amazing oysters. Oh my god, what's the name of that place? It's gonna drive me insane. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I figured out the name. The name of the place is called Seawolf. Shout out to Seawolf. They have the best hot dogs, oysters in Savannah. Honest to God. Anyway, so that was the first place that we had went out to, I think like dinner, kind of. We probably went out to dinner before that, but like this was like just like a point that I remember. And so yeah, it was amazing, and she was really cool. So I ended up out with her one day, and that we went to Tybee Island, or Tybee Beach. I think we went to North Beach, and it was so much fun. I had never, at this point in time too, let me just reiterate that at this point in time, this was my first time coming to Savannah. Like I had never been to Savannah in my time of being here in Georgia. I'm from Georgia. I'm from Atlanta. So I had never been to Tybee Island. I've never been to the beach in Savannah. And the reasoning is because I was always like a West Coast girly. Like I'd rather do something in the West Coast, go to the beach out there, you know, like I've always been that way. And so like I never wanted to go to the beach. Like why would I go 4 hours, you know, to go to the beach when I can just go like 5.5 hours, 6 hours on a plane to Cali, you know? And also Miami is right there as well too. So it's like I'm gonna go to Miami before I go to Tybee, before I go to the beach. I'm sorry. That's always been my thought process. I never went to like Orange Crush or anything like that. I always heard like it was super fun, super lit back in the day, but like me personally, I was always like a West Coast girly. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, we went to the beach. It was such an amazing time, and I feel like in this point in time it's August, and I also had just gotten a job at resort. So I was lit. I was living. Savannah was doing me so good up like in this point in time in August. It was like amazing. I thought Savannah was so lit. I thought everybody was so welcoming, so sweet. Like everybody, the locals were so nice and friendly and just like talking. like they talk to you, and I just feel like you just don't really see that in the city. Like everybody is like everybody minds their business essentially in the city. Like, yeah, people mind their business. So yeah, it is really hard for me to talk and do makeup at the same time. Like, how do you girlies do it? So anyways, so at this point in time, it's August. I'm living my best life. I started a new job at a dermatology slash med spa office, and also I was working in Hilton Head and at this place called Resort. So I was living, and I was able to go to Hilton Head and catch the beach there. And Hilton Head has like amazing beaches. Like, I was very impressed. I thought Hilton Head was so much like more, I don't know. It was just like really, really nice. I like Hilton Head Beach a little bit more than I like Tybee Beach. It was really, really nice. And it's only like an hour away from Savannah, so it really wasn't that far. I'm gonna go ahead and do these brows with some concealer. Are you gonna be? I really don't want to do too much concealer because this concealer is like super light for me right now for the summer, and I haven't gone makeup shopping. So just making do with what I got. Anywho, so I start this job. I start 2 jobs, so I'm just like living at this point in time. I gotta go to my notes because I'm trying to give you guys all the good parts of like my time being in Savannah before I get into like not necessarily the negative parts, but the negative experiences that I had being there, and why I was in such a rush to be back in Atlanta, and just so thrilled to be back in Atlanta. And this is why I don't want to leave Atlanta for a while. Anyways, like moving wise, I still want to like travel, you know, but I will not be moving anywhere else for, I think, ever. Like, I think Georgia, Atlanta is home, like for real. Obviously I'm from here, but like it's just something about Atlanta that you just can't get anywhere else. And all my people are here. Like, where else would I want to be, you know? So I went to this amazing restaurant with my friend Caitlin called The Wild as well too. This place was such, oh my god, it was like off, like it was a dog kind of vibe. Like you're literally eating at a dog, and the views are just absolutely stunning. 360 views. I made a video actually like in August of this previous year of us at the Wild, and oh my god, the food was so good, the drinks were so good. And this brings me to a point too. I can't not bring this point up because this just is how the timeline went. I'm gonna tell you, I guess it's just like a mixture of my experience, once again my experience. So anyways, that same day I was supposed to meet up with, I met up with some content creator like girlies that were in Savannah that had reached out to me to like model their boutique. And so it was that same day. And so yeah, anyways, so Caitlin came with me to my photo shoot, and it was just, this was kind of like my first weird experience, I guess you could say, living in Savannah. So she comes with me to my photo shoot. I'm not going to say the name of this boutique, but it was, I guess, a pretty popular boutique in Savannah. And so I was like, all right, like I'm down to support. I'm hoping that they'll throw me some money since I am going to be helping them with their brand, or, you know, give me some incentive since I'm going to be here, you know? I don't work for free, honey. So essentially I do this photo shoot. Like, the girls were cool, but the main girl that invited me, she like had some, like, I don't know, her vibe was like a little bit off. I couldn't put my finger on it. And so, long story short, at the end of the photo shoot, she ends up giving me like a $25 gift card to shop at this boutique, which nothing in the boutique costs $25. So you still were going to end up spending, which I don't mind. But the boutique itself wasn't necessarily my vibe. And I should have just not gone to begin with, but I was new to town. So essentially my idea was I'm going to link up with some content creator girlies, you know, we'll be able to make content together, you know, hopefully become friends and, you know, build some type of relationship essentially. That's how I think. Because I'm not just going to be, you know, in business or dealing with people if I can't be, you know, friendly and build that friendship with you. That's essentially the goal, or else I don't want to do business with you or, you know, even be around you. That's just, I'm just trying to be around people that, you know, are positive and, you know, are about their shit. So anyways, I do this photo shoot, and mind you, this photo shoot was like maybe an hour. So we do these photos. It's freaking hot. It's like August sometime. The girl that originally invited me, her vibes were just off. I don't know what it was, but her vibes were off. And at the end, she gives me a $25 gift card to the boutique, and I'm just like, okay. And then when it comes time for like the photos to be posted, she only posted one video that we did out of like all the photos, all the videos that we did. She only posted one video with me in it out of like a multitude of photos and videos on the slide on Instagram. So I was just like, that's weird. And I don't even mean to bring race into it, but like I feel like it is important to know I was the only black woman there. So it was just like kind of weird. I don't know, the energy was just weird, and it's never like a transaction I've necessarily had before, so it was kind of weird for me. Yeah, she gives me the $25 card as if like it's like $25, girl. What am I gonna do with $25? But I rest my case. I guess it's the thought that counts. Like, I never even used the $25. I'll probably just give it to my friend Caitlin, but I don't think she'll ever be going back there, because she ended up buying this like jacket from there, just like trying to support them or whatever, and support me at the same time, because, you know, I invited her to their boutique with me, like as my guest, as my friend. And yeah, she ended up even spending money with them. So it was just like it was just so weird. Like the girl's energy was so off. And then like she only posted me in like one video. And I think the other girl that was like taking photos with me like had done a little bit of modeling and stuff for her before, which is fine. So I guess like maybe she like already knew the transaction. But like girly that I was modeling with was like, her vibe was much cooler than the girl that like originally invited me. So I guess it's safe to say I never hung out with that girl ever again. Like after that, I was just not interested. So yeah, anyways, so I just had to add that little tidbit in there because that was like the same day, and that was like my first kind of weird experience being in Savannah. And I think that was like a month into us being there. So anyways, so I want to say this, like all the people that I ended up meeting for the most part in Savannah were super cool. Like I feel like I ended up walking away from Savannah with friends for a lifetime, essentially. Like I know that I can call them or I can text them, and vice versa. Like they can text me, they can reach out to me, they can come here, I can go there. Like I feel like I really built like these really strong relationships out there with my with my friends, and I'm just like so happy that I met everybody that I did, because they made the experience just worth it for me. So I feel like shit starts going crazy after like the first maybe 3 months of us being there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the cons of living in Savannah for me. Once again, for me. So I feel like I dealt with like just like a lot of weird instances with people, similar to what I was just saying about like with the photo shoot and how that girl like was acting towards me, I felt, you know. So I just want to start off by saying this. I had a hell of an experience working in Savannah. Like, my time working in Savannah and also Hilton Head was like hell. I thought I was getting away from the hell in Atlanta with these jobs and how they were treating me. But going to these jobs in Savannah just like escalated things that I never thought it could even be for me. And so anyways, it was just so weird. So I felt like at these jobs, like I felt like I was getting discriminated. And it's like I worked at 2 different places. I worked in Hilton Head and I worked in downtown Savannah. So for me to be saying this about both places is just like, it's just crazy. I kind of already explained to you guys back in December what happened to me at the job that I was working at in Hilton Head. So I feel like I really don't need to go back over, you know, what happened there and how I feel like they should have handled the situation and how I felt like I was being discriminated. And it's like it's crazy because there is an update to that story. Like, I found out through the girl that they essentially replaced me with, that was that me and her, we ended up becoming really cool. She told me that, yeah, they basically were letting me go because I was moving. Hi, this is future me. I just wanted to come on and say really quickly that the story did go the way that it went, but not exactly. I was just kind of summarizing what happened, but essentially she told me they were trying to wing me out. So that's why they took all of my clients off my schedule and moved them over to her. And essentially what happened is I noticed that I am not a punk bitch and I fucking quit, because you're not finna play with me and you're not finna play with my time and you're not finna play with my money, because they knew exactly what they were doing. And that's why I felt like they were discriminating me. And also the people that they ended up firing, they ended up rehiring and bringing them back after I left. So yeah, moving back to Atlanta in March. And the crazy thing about that is like I didn't even end up moving to Atlanta until May. So it was just like, I get it, but at the same time I didn't get it, because like I told them that when they hired me. And so I just feel like that wasn't right for them to do that. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But picking off of that, I was working at a dermatology / med spa there in downtown Savannah. So I was having a very similar experience, but with the owner there, she just was like flat out discriminating me. And I ended up finding out from coworkers that, yeah, she was intentionally not booking me and putting me on the books and having me come into work, because she knew I was leaving as well, and she knew that in the beginning. But also, I'm a great esthetician, and she didn't want the clients getting comfortable with me and then ended up leaving. That's a solid point. I understand all of that, but my issue with her is she would just sneakily do things. She would intentionally not pay me on time, and it's like I was making not that much money, and she was intentionally not booking me after I told her I was here to help her. I was like, I can even do front desk, you know, like I bought clients into her space. And I just felt like honestly disrespected. I felt so disrespected. I honestly don't even really want to get into all of that because I just feel like it does matter. I don't think I'm ready to talk about it fully yet, honestly, because I'm still feeling some type of way about the whole situation. And I don't know. I don't know. Moving on. We, the, I found out while I was there as well, which made me extremely uncomfortable. I know Savannah has like a lot of history, but I found out that Tybee Island used to be a sundown town. Now, if you remember at the beginning of all of this, I told you I went to Tybee. I had a beach day out there with, you know, a friend. And so I was just like really uncomfortable that it was a sundown town, and I didn't even know that it used to be. Like, I want to say, I want to make that really big, like it used to be. It's no longer a sundown town, but if you do your research, you will find out that Tybee Island used to be a sundown town. So I was like, honey, I was shocked. I was shocked when I found out. I was like, what? And I know, like I said, that Savannah has a lot of history, but honey, and it was just very telling too. Like when I found out, I was like, this makes a lot of sense about my experience being in Savannah. It's, in my opinion, I feel like Savannah is about 50 years behind compared to Atlanta. It's just a lot of things that I experienced out there. Like it was giving the 70s and 80s. That's what it was really giving. And I had mentioned to my friend, I'm like, oh, we should go to this place and like shoot some content or whatever. And she ended up telling me that the place was a plantation. Yeah, my jaw was dropped. I'm like, yeah, let's not go there. Because they also say that Savannah is extremely haunted. I will say, like, at night, like in the neighborhood that we lived in, like it was just so quiet, and you just don't get that in the city. It was so quiet to the point where like it was almost eerie. It was almost eerie, girl. I don't even know how to explain that. Also, another thing that I hated was the drive from Atlanta to Savannah is so long. It's like you're in Georgia still, but it just takes so long to get to and from each other. I really did not like doing that drive because it was such a boring drive. There is like quite a bit of nature, which can be like so scenic at times, especially when it's sunset, but like for me, it was just such a boring drive, and I really like driving, so I really didn't like that drive. Another big thing about Savannah that I did not like was that I love going to shows, I love going to festivals and things like that, and I'm sorry, I felt like I wasn't able to experience that because there wasn't many shows out there. A lot of artists didn't go out there, like big artists didn't really go out there like that, so it was kind of upsetting. I think I only did one show out there, and I can't remember, who did we go see? It was an EDM show. Oh my god, I can't remember who we went to go see, but like the venue itself was absolutely stunning. It was Alon. I think it's called Alon. Yeah, it's called Alon right there in downtown. And they do throw like quite a bit of, not me messing up, they do throw like quite a bit of events, and like artists do go out there, but just not a lot of the artists that I was necessarily interested in or I had already seen before. So when we went, there wasn't really like a VIP section, which I didn't like because we did get VIP, but it was just like a roped off like sitting area, and it just wasn't giving. So we didn't even end up going in the VIP area when we went there, but it was a fun time. Like, the music was good, but there was nobody really there, and I would say the music was okay. We did end up leaving a bit early, so there is that. But the nice thing about that venue too that I liked is it's like right there off of River Street, and that's another thing. I really did like River Street. It was such a cute little vibe down there, but I just felt like a lot of the Savannah culture was like a lot of drinking. And like, don't get me wrong, I love having a good time, I love drinking, but like, I'm at this point in my life where I just want more. Like, I'm trying to actually cut out drinking, but child, if you see me drinking a drink, mind your business, okay? So yeah, it was just like a lot of like drinking, like a lot of people like drink out there, which is fine, but I just don't like that feeling of like being drunk, especially like all the time. Like, I like being in control, you know? But yeah, I felt like that's really a lot of like what it was, and maybe that's why I didn't have like the best experience either. And not saying that like I was drinking every single day, because I wasn't, but yeah, I will say like the last 2 weeks in Savannah were nothing short of amazing. They were so amazing. Cutting back to just a few months ago, I think what really made our time in Savannah like kind of like just put like a sour taste in my mouth too as well is just like, you know, Atlas passing away there. Like, Savannah will always have a soft spot in my heart, because like that is like the last place that we did see Atlas, and like, God, we miss him every single day, and the fact that he's not with us here in Atlanta is just like, oh my God, it like eats at me sometimes, because we miss him so freaking much. And just the fact that we lost him in Savannah, it just was like, it was really just, it was sad. It was really sad there for a while. And then I was going through a lot of stuff with my job, and just being constantly discriminated there at my job in Savannah, and then having to, it was just a lot for me. But I will say, like I said, the last few weeks in Savannah, the last 2 weeks to be in particular, because I spent a good majority of that time with my really good friend Caitlin. Once again, shout out to Caitlin, because she really got me through it. She really got me through it. She's really a bright light. She's the bright light in Savannah. That's what I will say. She is such a bright light. But even in my life and in that time in Savannah, like, she was just the bright light for me. So I spent a lot of time with her the last 2 weeks that we were there. We ended up going to the beach, and then her sister ended up coming down, her twin, and I experienced Savannah, I feel like, a lot more too as well, because we ended up going to a silent disco out there. You guys saw that video. That was so much fun. Like, definitely one of the best nights I had, hands down, in Savannah was that night. We had so much fun, and I felt like I really experienced Savannah that night. I would say the food out in Savannah is like, I would give it like a C, a solid C. Like, I didn't really experience a lot of the food out there, so I guess this is still, once again, based off of my experience. But most of the food I had, like when I went to the restaurants, were pretty good. They were pretty good. So yeah, I am still nowhere near done in this makeup, but I'm almost done with this Savannah story, so it's like funny. I'm almost done. Yeah, I just want to say this. Overall, my experience in Savannah was good. I feel like what made me have a sour experience there was my job experiences. So that's really what made my experience sour, and I felt like that was kind of just like almost spilling over into like my personal life, because I was so stressed out working the last few months, because I really wasn't making that much money at this place, because this lady was just like constantly discriminating me, constantly. We were going through multiple managers, and she would constantly tell them, oh, don't book her, she's leaving anyways, or just constantly just talk shit about me. And literally, I can confirm this with all of my coworkers, because they ended up telling me, because I was cool with my coworkers, and the owner didn't realize that I was cool with the coworkers, even though I wasn't there all the time. Like, I had so much free time. I had so much freaking free time. Like, I was making just enough money to freaking get by, and this evil ass woman knew this, because I freaking told her and expressed to her like I really need to work, and she just didn't give a fuck. To be quite honest with you, she just didn't give a fuck. So that's really what made my experiences out there just kind of, I guess, like a little bit sour, besides that incident that happened with that content creator girl or whatever. Like, yeah, because like it wasn't necessarily a bad experience. And then, you know, we did lose Atlas, of course. Like, that really fucking sucks that we lost him. But like, overall, our time out there was really good. But the reasoning I don't want to move back is because obviously I need to work. There's not many esthetician jobs out there to start off with, so that made it hard for me. I ended up getting a new job while I was there, but it was crazy because it's like it wasn't worth me starting a new job because I was still leaving. So it's like this lady literally had me like by the titties. And it pissed me off so much that she had so much power. Like, I gave this lady so much power over my emotions, and like over my time, and just a lot of things. Like, even like my mental health like was extremely affected by like this lady fucking me over intentionally. Like, I was going through it there for a while. Like, I was just so fed up, and I was just ready to get back to Atlanta. I'm like, oh my god, I just need to get back to Atlanta so I can start working again and be at a med spa, doing what I love, making my clients happy around my people, you know? Like, I never had an issue like that of discrimination ever in Atlanta. Like, I've had issues at jobs with just like, you know, people not wanting to give me a raise or paying me what I'm worth type shit, and then me just having to leave because I know my worth and not wanting to deal with it, or, you know, just people being negative or constantly micromanaging. Like, I've had my fair share of that, but yeah, I never had to experience anything like that before. So I was just that's really why I was just ready to get back to Atlanta, to be honest with you. And I've never been happier in my life to be back in Atlanta. It's had its challenges, it's had its ups and downs, like having to get back, but what really like led the way was me getting a job at the current place that I'm at, which I am so thankful for. Like, the experience that I've had so far has just been night and day compared to my time in Savannah, and also my time at other places that I've been at here, even in Atlanta. So I'm just really at this point in my life where I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely blessed for even the little things. And I just felt like out in Savannah, the things that I had before we moved out there, I kind of took a little bit for granted. And I just won't take those things for granted ever again. Like, I'm just super thankful, and I'm just super blessed to be back in Atlanta and to be at this point in time, like, Everything I know happens for a reason. I know I was meant to go to Savannah. I know I was supposed to experience all those experiences that I was experiencing. That's one for you. But yeah, I'm just at a point of peace. I'm just glad to be back. Once again, no hate to anybody that lives in Savannah. I actually wish that I was able to do like more touristy things while I was in Savannah, but I wasn't able to, especially with like not being able to, I don't know. I just felt like at a certain point in time, I just kind of like, I was just done. You know, when you're just done and you're just done and you're just looking for that final, you're just waiting for that final day, and then you can just, you know, be at peace. Like, a lot of things happened over that time that just kind of just, it just shifted my perspective of things in Savannah. That's it. That's what it is. That's just my experience. That's just the experience that I had. But yeah, another thing that ended up happening to us, like our apartment complex ended up like scamming us. Somehow, it's like a revolving door at some of these places out there. Just like with any place, you know, even here in Atlanta, a lot of places are revolving doors because people won't freaking pay their people. But that's another video for another time. Oh, I need to, what am I doing? I'm already powdering and I haven't even concealed. Look at me. See, this is why I can't talk. I can't multitask at the same time. I'm trying, but it's hard. So, yeah, our apartment complex literally scammed us somehow into a 13-month lease. I don't even know how that happens. I never even actually heard of a 13-month lease until we came to Savannah. So it was just like really interesting when we found this out, because we were expected to leave in March. We found out in, I think, December that our lease wasn't up until August of this year. And we were just like, that kind of just like dampered and just like, it just changed up our whole like, our whole mood, I feel like, and our whole like look on Savannah. I feel like that's really where it was starting. Gosh, I love NARS concealer so much. It just blends so flawlessly into your skin. But anyway, so they scammed us. I guess one of the girls that used to work there that actually showed us the place originally, our apartment, like no longer works there. And so we couldn't even go back to her to talk to her because she told us that we would be signing a 10-month lease. But little did we know, because like when we were even signing the lease to get in the place, they like sent us like 2 different leases. So it was just crazy, y'all. That like pissed us off and like set us off so freaking bad. That like really set the mood for our rest of the time in Savannah. Unfortunately, it didn't set the mood, but it just like made us look at Savannah a lot differently. Yeah, and they obviously would not let us out of our lease. And like at this point in time, like we had lost Atlas, so it was just like, so it was such a messed up situation. So we were like freaking stuck in this apartment. We weren't stuck, but we just knew like we had to get back to Atlanta. And like the leasing people they just dropped the ball in so many things. And they literally, they didn't care like at all. They were just clearly scamming people out of money. Like people were moving out left and right. That should have been our #1 red flag with them. People were moving out like left and right. I mean, let me say this too, like Savannah is a college town, because you know you have SCAD out there, but like, man, I didn't understand that. Like tons of people were moving out by the droves and it was not the college kids. So let's just start there. So yeah, it was just a huge red flag. And then us being stuck in our lease, it was just, child. I've never been so happy to be back in Atlanta. I'm just so happy to be back. And another thing, like just being back and being close, you know, to my family. I really miss them. I missed my parents. Yeah, I've just missed these moments. I missed my friends. And another crazy thing is, like, Ashley ended up moving back to Atlanta around the same time that I moved back. So it was so cool. We did have a time. I made a video about our time at Skidaway Island, which is such a beautiful place. Oh my god. If you are ever in Savannah, you should definitely check out Skidaway Island. It's such a cute little island. We saw dolphins there. Like, that was such a great time there. I had never seen dolphins before in my life, and so I was just, honey, I was shocked. I was shocked. I wanted to freaking get in the ocean and play with the freaking dolphins. Like, I will say, like, the nature out in Savannah is top tier. Like, if you're a nature girly, like, such as myself, like, the nature out there is top tier. Like, I don't want this video to necessarily steer you away from visiting Savannah. Like, if you want to visit Savannah. Because it's honestly, it's stunning. And it's great for, like, a weekend trip. And I mean weekend. So, definitely recommend. Go for the weekend. But as far as it goes with moving, I definitely don't recommend moving to Savannah. Where did I leave off? So, yeah. My time that I had there was very up, very down, but I don't want that to steer you guys away from visiting Savannah. This was just the time that I had. And, like, I really wish I was able to do, like, the ghost tours, because, like, I love scary, okay? I love it. I live for that. And I really wish I was able to actually do one of those tours, because, like, I would see them all the time. Anytime I would go to work, like, the little, like, I don't know what you would call it, like, the little buses or the street trolleys. So, yeah, they always had people on it. Also, I will say the freaking rain out there is insane. When I was working in Hilton Head, and like I said, I love to drive. So, like, I didn't mind driving out there for work or anything like that. But I could not drive in the rain. Because, like, when it rained out there, it would freaking pour. It would freaking pour. And I mean to the point where, like, you cannot see anything, like, in front of you. Like, it was scary. At one point in time, I had to stop my car in a park at Target. That's how bad it was raining, and I was an hour away. And it was like a rain advisory or something crazy, y'all. And I was so freaking terrified because it was also dark. Like, it was pitch black. There's no lights on the road from where I was going from Hilton Head on my way home from work. So it was just like, it was really, really scary. And yeah, I will say that. Don't drive in the rain if you're in Savannah or, like, going to Hilton Head, because, like, oh my god, it was such a scary, that was, like, definitely one of the scariest times I had being out there. Because I never had experienced rain like that before, ever. So it's just like, what? Like, it rains here in Atlanta, but not like that. Not like that, honey. That was freaking scary. So yeah, I'm setting my face right now. Sorry I haven't been talking through the steps, with my lovely benign powder in the color Caramel. I know I said I was going to go dramatic in this, but I really need to get to Trader Joe's before my boyfriend gets off work. So I might have to cut this video a little bit short. But I mean, I basically told you guys, you know, my pros, my cons to living in Savannah. Like, overall, my experience, I would rate A3. But, you know, it was my friends made it worthwhile for me. Like they really showed the bright light for me while I was out there in Savannah. And I mean, of course my boyfriend, but you know, my friends really they did their big one, because I felt like I was going through it, and I felt like just them spending time with me was just, it just made it worth it, because I felt like I was like to a point where I was homesick, and I'm just like, I could not get to Atlanta fast enough. And like I said, going through the ups and the downs of, you know, the job or whatever, it just, they made it worthwhile. I also did get my tattoo touched up, my girl power tattoo touched up while I was out in Savannah too. So that was really dope. I can't wait to actually get some more tattoos soon, because I'm having an itch. I really want to be like, I want to have a whole half sleeve. I hope you guys don't judge me based off of this video, because like, I just want to preface, this was my time in Savannah, and like, I really, like, my family knows what I went through. My boyfriend personally knows what I went through being out there, and you know, this is just my experience. So yeah, I don't know why I have to keep saying that, but I feel like I have to keep saying it, because I just don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke. I think I'm going to set my face with some more translucent powder. And then I'm gonna contour my face. Yeah. I think another point that I want to point out is I am a city girl. Like, I'm from Atlanta, so like just my experience out there was so different, just being in a small town. I think Savannah is less than 100,000 people compared to Atlanta, where there's millions of people here. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna contour my face with my brow powder, because I don't have anything else to contour with. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Say that you're gonna be a tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain. Last night I was watching Jenny 69 do her makeup, so this makeup look is actually inspired by Jenny 69. Shout out to Jenny 69. So for the rest of this video, I'm probably just going to do either a voiceover, or I'm gonna add some music. But I do want to end this video on a positive note, because like, I don't want to be super negative. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be like negative about Savannah. This was just my experience at this point in time. I had never been to Savannah until moving out there. But yeah, like I said, it's just such a beautiful place. The weather is so nice year round. Like, I had to wear a jacket a few times in the winter, but it wasn't unbearable cold, you know, like how it gets here in Atlanta. It wasn't like that. So that was nice, I will say that. And I love the fact of like just being around palm trees. I never lived so close to the beach before, so it was really nice having that. I only went to the beach a few times, mind you, but I mean, it was still nice being in a beach town. I will say that, because you can wear whatever the heck you want year round, which is nice. So I saw that she contours under here, and that's like so smart, because lately I've been seeing this like little, and I just want to like contour that out. So you think though, before I end it on a positive note, we had a psycho ass neighbor, okay? Psycho. He lived above us and he was like an older man. And like this guy would like do, I mean like crazy shit. Like he would knock on our door like in the middle of the night, hella freaking drunk. Like especially if we would tell him like, yo, you're being loud. Like our last day in Savannah, we reached out to him because he was being so freaking loud. I don't know if he was having a party because we were freaking leaving or what, but he was being so loud and we had to get up so early to move back to Atlanta. And so yeah, he comes down to our apartment and starts knocking like literally so freaking crazy. Like you thought the police would have been at the door. You thought he would have broken down the door. Like that's how he was banging at our front door. Just crazy. And it's like, who the hell are you to be knocking at our front door like that? Lucky I ain't have my toolie, for real. Like, why the fuck are you knocking on my door like that? You got me fucked up. Anyways, so we told him basically like, yo, can you like fucking turn down the music and stop fucking stomping, please? Like we're trying to go to sleep. Like you're being rude as fuck. It's like 1 in the morning, like please. And it's like a Tuesday, so what the fuck? So yeah, he's like banging on the door. He was literally insane. But we went through several incidents like that. Not to the point where he was banging on the door. I think he was just feeling frisky, but feeling fresh because we were leaving. But yeah, I don't think he would have done that any other day. I'm gonna tell you that much. So yeah, that was another thing. Like literally our last freaking day in Savannah. And whoosh, at that point we had gotten out of there fast enough. Once I saw the Atlanta skyline, I was happy, baby. All the depression left my body. I'm trying to tell you, all the depression left my body. I was so happy. I was so happy to be back, y'all. Was freaking thrilled. I was in my zone. Once we got back to Atlanta. And it was so nice once we got back to Atlanta too. Like we moved into this new place and it's been nothing short of sweet. Like it's been so amazing, so amazing. We even had like a little like housewarming party. Well, it wasn't supposed to be a housewarming party, but my friend Kayla ended up coming over with her boyfriend to like help us like move in and stuff. So that was like so nice of them, and we ended up like having like a little housewarming gathering, and it was so nice. Like at this point in time, I had never experienced a housewarming before, so like I thought that was just so sweet. It was so sweet. Like they didn't have to do that, but I have just been so happy just to be back in Atlanta, to be honest with you. I've been missing Atlas so much lately. Like he's beside me right over there, but I miss him. I miss him so much. I can't even bring myself to change my lock screen on my phone. It's a picture of us. Like I cannot bring myself to changing it. Alright, I'm gonna start listening to some music because I really gotta get out of here. It's 1:43. Paint me as the villain if that makes you feel better. Whatever makes you feel better. Your girl talk shit about me just to feel better.
think I don't love you, I just thought you were cute. That's why I kiss you. Got a fighter jet, I don't get to fly it home. I'm lying down thinking about you. Oh, no, 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 I've been thinking. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like everything. My eyes don't shed tears, but more than more when I'm thinking about you. Oh no, 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 I've been thinking about you. You no, 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 I've been thinking about you. Do you think about me still?
Okay, so what do we think about my makeup? She is slaying pussy boots. I think this look is so beautiful. Even though I'm going to Trader Joe's, I mean, who freaking cares? I think I look good, and that's all that matters. And when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. Yeah. So I wanted to end this video on a positive note. You know, this was my experience living in Savannah. This may not be everybody's experience, which is fine. I don't want to sway you guys any differently. If you want to go to Savannah, go visit Savannah. I definitely think for me, I won't be going back anytime soon. I mean, if I do decide to go back, it's going to be for a day or two, for like a weekend or, you know, something along those lines. But I probably will not be going back anytime soon. And the funny thing about it is, before I was born, my dad actually was working in Savannah in the military, on the military base as a sergeant major. And my dad has had very similar, I feel like, experiences that I've had with me being in Savannah. And my dad, like, even has said to me, like, he will never go back to Savannah. So there was obviously a reason that my dad would not be going back to Savannah. And I feel like I stand on that. I stand on that. Yeah, I stand with how he feels, because I feel like we probably had very similar experiences. But my dad was in Savannah probably in the 70s and the 80s. So, I mean, I'm sure it was totally different back then, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, the history out there. I wish I would have been able to do, you know, like a ghost tour. So if you're in Savannah, you should definitely check out the ghost tours. I heard that they're really nice, really amazing. Definitely check out River Street. River Street is nothing short of sweet and beautiful, especially if you catch it at sunset. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I just wanted to end this on a good note. I'm going to try my best to be consistent now that I'm back here in Atlanta, back in my routine. If there's a certain type of video that you want to see more makeup videos, or you want to see more of the day of the life, y'all let me know. Comment down below. Please, please, please. I see you guys running up these views on my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. Your just presence and you just being here is enough alone. So, you know, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, so you can see more of my content. And I'll see you guys soon.